Most robot vacuums look great, right up until you actually use them. I've had ones that get stuck under the sofa, others that just give up on rugs, and some that somehow miss dirt that's literally right there. So yeah, smart cleaning sounds good, but in real life, it breaks pretty fast. So this time, I wanted to see if this one is actually different. This is the Dreame X60 Max Ultra Complete. And what caught my attention isn't just the specs, it's the idea behind it. It feels like it's designed around all those small problems that usually make you stop using robot vacuums in the first place. The first thing I noticed is the height. It's really low, and that sounds like a small detail, but in a real home, it changes a lot. Because normally, this is exactly where robots fail. They just don't go under things. Here, it actually tries. The top sensor retracts when it needs to, so it can fit into tighter spaces. And surprisingly, it doesn't feel like it's guessing down there. It still knows where it is, which is something I didn't expect, honestly. Another thing I paid attention to is how it reacts to different mess. Because not everything is obvious. Some dirt is really subtle, especially on lighter floors. And I've seen robots just ignore it completely. Here, it actually notices more than I expected. And more importantly, it doesn't treat everything the same. If it's dry, it vacuums. If it's something else, it switches approach. It feels less like it's following a routine and more like it's reacting to what's actually there. Now, obviously, power matters, but I've learned that numbers alone don't really mean much. What actually matters is what's left on the floor. So I tried it with different types of mess: hair, dust, small debris, and especially carpets, because that's usually where things get weaker. What I noticed is that it's not just relying on suction. The brush setup actually makes a difference. It handles transitions better, and it doesn't get tangled as easily as I expected, which, if you've used robot vacuums before, you know that's a big deal. This part surprised me the most, because this is where I usually lose patience. Small obstacles, not big enough to matter, but enough to stop the whole process. And instead of stopping, it actually tries to figure it out. Sometimes it climbs, sometimes it adjusts. But the key thing is, I didn't have to step in. And that's kind of the whole point. A real home is messy. Things move. Stuff gets left on the floor. And I didn't reset anything for this. I just let it deal with it, and it actually does. It avoids cables, goes around objects, and still cleans close enough where it needs to. It's not perfect, but it feels a lot more aware than most, and that changes how much you trust it.
Mop pads installed.
Mopping is usually where I'm the most skeptical, because a lot of robots just drag something wet across the floor. This feels different. It actually applies pressure. It moves with intention. And when there's a tougher spot, it doesn't just pass over it once and leave. It tries again, which is honestly what you'd expect from a human. After using it for a bit, this part becomes more important than you think. Because the real question is, how often do you have to deal with it?
Low water level in the clean water tank.
And here, not much. It cleans itself, handles the water, dries everything. So instead of maintaining the robot, you kind of just let it exist. There are also a few extra things, like better cleaning for pet areas, hot water cleaning, smart home integration. But for me, those are more like nice additions on top, not the main reason. So after spending some time with it, I think the biggest difference is this. It removes a lot of those small frustrations that usually make robot vacuums feel unreliable. Getting stuck, missing spots, needing help. And when those things are gone, you stop thinking about it as a gadget, and it starts feeling like something that actually does its job. If you want to check it out, a link is in the description.